Again, it says that if a person goes through the process of tshuva, and I want to be very clear because there are many teachings and they're all very valid around tshuva, but the core of the process of transformation is seemingly a simple one. You have to look back at your year, which of course I'm hoping and assuming we're all beginning today into the next 4 weeks, and I find something that I did, or an action that I repeat, or something negative for myself that I do. All you have to do, the Kabbalists teach, is to think about it, to truly desire that you hadn't behaved in that way, and taking upon yourself the commitment not to behave in that way again. It's really two-step action. 3, you look back in the past, you find an action, a behavior. All you have to do is say, I really wish I hadn't done that, and I commit not to repeat that behavior. The only thing that I do is first have the consciousness that surrounding me and within me there is this overwhelming light that enables transformation and correction, that enables tshuva, and I awaken the desire for this aspect of me to be transformed. And then I see that the overwhelming light of tshuva from the endless light of the Creator and from within me overwhelms this issue and transforms it, Think about first the overwhelming force that exists in all of creation, the overwhelming force that exists within you, that light, you can envision it, you should see it, that ocean of tshuva, that ocean of force, of light that corrects everything, that fixes everything, that transforms everything. And then you bring forth your issue, you bring forth your broken part, you bring forth your negative actions, and you see the light, the waters of tshuva that exists all around me and within me, overwhelming and transforming that negative action, that negative behavior, that part of me that needs to change. I do this, and I strongly recommend, but not just I recommend it, it's the only tshuva you can do. It's the only true tshuva you can do. Anything else done alone, that's the very big difference between the center and self-help, right? Self-help would tell you, make the list, talk to your friends, talk to your teacher, change it, or get support to change it. Now we can say that not only does that not work, it actually makes things worse. It makes things worse. Mitgashem al yedei ma'asav hatovim. You become more disconnected by trying to do good by yourself. One of the secrets of the verse, Hanoten bayam darech, it's referring to somebody, and again, those of us who've been on boats, but most of us, or at least can understand what it might feel like if you find yourself in the middle of a storm all by yourself in a boat in the middle of the ocean. It's not, you're a mile offshore and you have to find a way back. You're a little bit confused, right? It's a different reality. It's one where there's no way out. You can't imagine how you're going to survive. You can imagine certainly finding a path back to life. So the first understanding, if we are to be even open and able to receive of the light of Elul, the first question has to be, am I really in that state? Because that's what this month is about. Hanoten bayam darech u'b'mayim azim netiva, which means you have to envision the ocean, the overwhelming waters, the overwhelming force of transformation, and bring forth your desire for this to change. You bring forth your sadness that you behaved in this way, and then see. And I'm telling you, meditate not just on once, twice, throughout this month. But this is tshuva. This is the only true tshuva. That you have to, when you look at yourself, and again, it's something we speak about all the time, but this is certainly the time to experience it, to really know this. The reason why this is true, even for those of us who are really good people, and even for those of us who are really spiritual people, is because compared to the great light of our soul, which we will learn maybe a little bit more about today, compared to the true essence of our potential, we're completely lost in the ocean, needing assistance to find how to live that life. Yeah, Baruch Hashem, I'm sure most of us, all of us, are living a good life, a spiritual life. Elul is not for you then. Elul is for the rest of us who understand, I had a good year. I was very spiritual. I did actions of sharing. I connected. I was a good person. Elul is not for that person. Elul is for the person who realizes, again, it's possible that I am a good person. It's possible that I've done good things. It's possible that I assisted others this year, and so on and so forth. But compared to who I am, compared to the greatness of my soul, I am a lost ship in the middle of the storm in an ocean, in the middle of the ocean. And I desperately need the assistance of the Creator to find a way out, more importantly, in, so that this coming year, Bezrat Hashem, will be a year completely different. In what sense? Again, some of us might have reasons we want it to be completely different, but even those of us, again, who've had a spiritual life, a good life, and so on and so forth. But compared to who I am, compared to the potential of my soul, I truly see myself as needing Hanoten Bayam Darich, for the Creator to show me something new, something completely new. Because compared to the greatness of my soul and to what I am meant to do, I am a lost boat in the middle of a storm in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Also related to another verse that is in the writings of the Kabbalah, is very much holding the secret of this month, and certainly as we come towards Rosh Hashanah. It says, and we say this in the Psalms, we sang it today, Min ha-meitzar karatia, I called to the Creator from the depths, from a very, very dark place, from the great narrow place. Anani b'merchavia. And then the light of the Creator answers me, elevates me to the most open, the most filled, the most light-filled place. But there has to be that polarity. You have to start min ha-meitzar, you have to start realizing that compared to who you are meant to be, you're in a dark, narrow place. Then this month can give you the ability, Anani Bamer Chavia, that the light of the Creator will take us to a completely new place. All the light that we need. So the Ari says, if you want to be able to connect, and it's hard to say, but if somebody does not make these meditations according to the Ari, it's almost impossible to completely connect to the light of Elul, to all the corrections that we have to make. So he says, you have to know that are the names you have to meditate on in order to be able to draw down all the light of correction and all the light of mercy that is in the month of Elul. There's two names. There's what's called Sag, which is, we know that there's different ways to write out a tetragrammaton. Sag is Yud Vav Daled, Ke Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, and Ke Yud. That's called the tetragrammaton spelling for the realm of Binah, which we know is the realm of Tshuva. So the Ari says you have to meditate on that tetragrammaton spelling. It's called the Sag, which is Yud Vav Daled, as I said, Ke Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, Ke Yud. Because that is from where the light of mercy and the light of correction is awakened in the month of Elul. And the second is what's called the name Eke, Aleph K, Yud K, but specifically as it's spelled with Yud, which is Aleph Lamed Pei, K Yud, Yud Vav Dalet, K Yud. That is numerical value 161. So the two names, one numerical value 63, the second numerical value 161. Or as the Ari refers to them, Havayad the Sag, which is the tetragrammaton combination that's numerical value of 63, and Eke of Kuf Samech Aleph 161. These are the two names that you have to meditate on in order to draw the light of correction and mercy in the month of Elul. And hopefully those of you who are watching this on Kabbalah University will have, is not light that we have to reveal new, but rather light, again, sparks of light that we've given over to the negative side. And therefore the month of Elul is not just about preparing this next year, it's about really coming to a completely new level, because if we can, B'Shavita Shivyo, as it says in this week's portion, if we are able to capture back these sparks of light, we'll have blessings like we can't even imagine. Because they all exist, but they're under the control of the negative side. But the only way, the Kabbalists teach, that we are able to extract the sparks of light from the negative side is by this consciousness. Why? And again, I'll explain it again because it's important that it's clear to us. If an individual is of the consciousness that the negative side exists, that the negative side has power, and how do you prove that? It's not just an intellectual question, it's an actual practical question. How do you react to what is happening to you in this month of Elul? And when things happen to you, if you are of the consciousness that this is negative, so therefore what does that mean if it's negative? It's coming from the negative side, it's coming from the klipa. You are giving strength to the klipa, you're giving strength to the negative side, you're giving strength to those forces that are imprisoning your sparks. Conversely, if you're able to really come to a higher level of consciousness, that there is nothing but the light of the Creator, that the negative side does not have strength, the negative side does not have power, and how do you prove that you are of that consciousness? Because when things happen to you in this month of Elul, you know that it's only the light of the Creator, because there is nothing else, there's no other power in this world except the light of the Creator, and therefore if it's happening to me, it's coming from the light of the Creator, and I'm thankful for it, I'm excited for it. If you're able to maintain that consciousness, you take out the power from the klipa, you take out the power from the forces that are imprisoning your sparks, and you're able to, B'Shavita Shivyo, you are able to take back your sparks of light. Unless an individual works on this consciousness, it will be almost impossible in this month of Elul for us to take back those sparks that we need. It's important to understand all the light that we lack and all the blessings that we lack and any lack that we have in our lives comes from one place. These sparks of light that in this year or this incarnation we've given over, previous incarnations we've given over to the negative side. And therefore we have to, certainly in this month of Elul, grab those sparks back, but you cannot take back those sparks unless you live this consciousness in the month of Elul. Because by this consciousness that there is nothing but the light of the Creator, and therefore if this is happening, it's coming from the light of the Creator, and therefore I'm excited about it and happy about it, you take away the strength and the klipa that is holding on to your sparks of light, and you take them back. Very, very important. Very, very important. Dari says that when we talk about the essence of light, we refer to what are called the two candles of light. Those of you might know, on Shabbat, for instance, we meditate on two candles. And Dari says that those represent the two candles of light. These two candles, each of them is made up of what's called three combinations. Again, tetragrammaton with Eke, Aleph Ke Yud Ke, the tetragrammaton Yud Ke Vav Ke with Elokim, and the tetragrammaton with Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. These four names, the tetragrammaton combination with Eke, the tetragrammaton combination with Elokim, the tetragrammaton combination with Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, each one of them represent what's called the candle of the light of the Creator. And the two of them together, the doubling of these six names, right, three combinations, is the totality of light that we need. We meditate it, we use it, those of you who notice, on Shabbat. But really this, as the Ari says, is the light that is the totality of the light of the Creator that we need. Gimel Yichudim, Havaya Eke, Havaya Elokim, Havaya Adne. These three combinations, Gematria Nera. So each one of them represents what's called the candle of the light of the Creator. And the totality of light is the doubling of these three combinations. All the light that you need, and sometimes I think on Shabbat somebody makes an announcement about it, and maybe a few people look into the connection book and look at these, but to understand, and this is really the difference between whether you can get the light out of these meditations or not, is of course the consciousness that you have about them. And I doubt that any of us really has, I'm sure that almost none of us have the real consciousness about the power of these combinations, because if you did, that light would be revealed for you. So in what's called the Kedusha, in the revelation of the light of the Creator, there are what are called these two candles. But it's important to know, Yesh bet nerot de klipa. The negative side also has two candles. And the purpose of the month of Elul is to extinguish those two candles on the negative side. So, Ner Gematria Ramach, the word candle, has a numerical value 248, and two more for Nefesh and Ruach, the two lowest levels of soul. Vehem yonkim min hashemot kedusha. And the negative side also receives their light from the names of the positive side, what's called the names of holiness. Shehem Eke, Elokim, and Adni. So there's three letters Aleph in the beginning of each one of the names. Aleph Ke Yud Ke, Elokim, and Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. The negative side draws their light from the first three letters of those three names. וצריך להסיר מהם השני בחינות של נפש רוח וגם הגימל אלפין של גימל השמות. So the meditation, again, and this is the Ari says, if you meditate on this in the month of Elul, you are able to extinguish the force of negativity. You are able to extinguish what are called the two candles of the Klippa, the two candles of the negative side. You need to extract from the candle, numerical value 250, 5. What are the 5 that you're extracting? The 3 letters Aleph from Eke, Elokim, and Adne, and the 2 levels of your Nefesh and Ruach. Because what we do when we do negative actions is that we give over to the negative side those 3 Alephs, those first 3 letters of the 3 names, and the Nefesh and Ruach of ourselves. If you're able to meditate, and this is part of the process of Tshuva, we mentioned earlier that the Ari said you begin your Tshuva by meditating on the 2 names 63 and 161. Now we're adding an additional meditation from the Ari, and that is that you need to meditate on extracting from the candle of the negative, of the Klippa that you've given over, 5. The 3 letters Aleph from the name Eke, from the name Elokim, from the name Adne, and the 2 levels of your Nefesh and Ruach. Now, what happens when you take away just those 5 out of Ner, out of candle, which is numerical value 250, you're left with 245. When the negative side is left only with 245, mita'achin v'nichbim, then the negative side is extinguished. The negative side loses its power. And there's a verse that says, Hashem Rama Yadcha. The word Rama is numerical value 245. That when a person meditates on taking out these 5 out of the 250, which is candle of the negative side, you extinguish the light of the negative side. And this is the name, by the way, he says that King Solomon used to fight the forces of negativity. So when you extinguish, by removing 5 from the 2 candles of the negative side, you're left with the negative side is left with 245 times 2, which is the numerical value of Taf Tzadik, 490. ובזה ניצו ונשברו הקליפה בשם תץ של א' ב' ג' י' ת' צדיק. And the last 2 letters, and we say this all the time, but Ana B'Koach Yudati Minchat Atir Tzuot, the last 2 letters, the last two words, the first 2 letters, are Taf and Tzadik, 490. Because it is that first name, and specifically the last 2 letters within that name, that break the forces of negativity. And therefore, especially in this month of Elul, we have to meditate, again, those of us who really take this process of correction and extinguishing the fire or the candles on the negative side, it's important to do this meditation at least every day in the month of Elul. This meditation, the Kabbalists say, it comes in this week's portion, begins with the word ki tetzeh. When you go out, literally it means, when you go out to war. But the 3 letters in the second word of this week's portion are Taf Tzadik, Aleph. רצונו לומר בזה תף צדיק עם הכולל תהיה למלחמה על אויביך שיוצצו וישברו. When the secret of the first word of this week's portion, tetzeh, which is the 2 letters Taf and Tzadik, as we said, the combination of 490, with what's called the Kolel. That is the meditation this week's, the Creator is telling us on the Shabbat to extinguish the light of the negative side. And if you do this meditation, the Kabbalists say, you'll be able to take control of the negative side. The consciousness be? What does the consciousness need to be? What's the action of tzedakah, for example, sharing? Within the world, within me, there is this great force coming from the endless light of the Creator that's called tzedakah, for example, the action of sharing. Before I do any action, I connect, I awaken through my meditation, through my consciousness, a connection to that great force of tzedakah. And then I awaken a desire. I want to be a part of that. I want to give this $100, but not me giving to him or to her. This is this great force of which I'm going to be a part of. I awaken my desire, but what's actually happening, what's actually being created or affected is a connection to this overwhelming force of tzedakah that exists in the world and that exists within me. And then I give it. And then not only did I awaken the force of tzedakah, for example, before, but now when this person receives that $100, he or she is not just receiving the $100, he or she is receiving the entire force of tzedakah that exists in the world. What we do is never our action of tzedakah, for example, or our action of maaser. We have to first begin with the meditation, seeing the overwhelming light of tzedakah that exists in the world, that exists within me, and I have a desire to be a part of that, and then I do that action, and then I know, but that what's really happening here is that the light of the Creator is overwhelming the person receiving also with the light of tzedakah, much more important than whatever little action or even great action that I did. A person who believes, and this happens to all of us, and again, it's not just about tzedakah, it's shuvah, it's about everything, that I'm doing such a great positive action. I am taking of my whatever it is, and I'm giving it to him or to her. That entire back and forth, mitgashem al yedei ma'asav hatovim. A person can become more disconnected through his or her positive actions. Again, as I said, chapter 55 in Psalms, verse 7. Va'omar mi yiten li ever kayona, and I say, may I merit to receive the wings like a dove, a'ufa ve'eshkona, and I will fly and I will find a resting place. This is, again, the secret of tshuva. Again, to repeat why, because the clarity of why we need to correct is the experience that we have in every day. King David says, Libi yachil b'kirbi, any fear, yira'ah, vatchaseni platzot, any type of anguish that we feel in the day is only for one reason, that we have not yet corrected. And when a person goes through the process of tshuva, he merits, as we said, to build these wings for his soul. This is really what we ask for in the month of Elul, and our soul begins to fly out of the omek haklipot, from the shells on the negative side, and begins to at least find a proper resting place. So, what I do is in the month of Elul, as I go through the process of tshuva, meditate, as we said, the first meditation from the Ari, two names, 63 and 161. The second meditation from the Ari, to extinguish the two candles of the negative side. And so I sing this verse from King David, which has within it the secret of tshuva, what we can receive, with, of course, the melody of Rav Ashlag. One of my favorite parts from what Rav Ashlag wrote for Psalm 45, but we sing it for Baruch Hashem Yom Yom. So I'll sing it for you, and everybody can join if you want, but I strongly recommend, I know it works for me, because as you sing it, what you want to ask for, you think about all those ways by which you have weighted down your soul into, as the Kabbalists call it, Omka the Tehoma Rabba, into the weighted down into the depths of negativity. And you know you experience it, as King David says, because libi achil bekirbi, anytime you experience fear, yiravarad yavobi, and you feel any type of anguish or pain. And then you ask, as you think about these things, and you're hopefully giving yourself the ability to remove the weight of those negative actions. Mi va'omar mi iten li ever kayona. We beg the Creator, allow me to create these wings for my soul. Ha'ufa ve'eshkona. And I will, through this process of tshuva, my soul will be able to fly up and reside in its proper resting place. So again, the purpose of these words and singing the song is not for the song, but as you sing it, you think about all those actions that you can remember that have weighted down your soul. And if you do it right, it works. Va'omar mi yiten li hever kayona ha'ufa ve'eshkona 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 va'omar mi yiten li hever kayona va'omar mi yiten li hever kayona ha'ufa ve'eshkona 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 va'omar mi yiten li hever kayona
ואשכונה ועממי ייתן לי היבק היונה ההוא ועממי ייתן לי היבק היונה העופה ואשכונה 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 ועממי ייתן לי היבק היונה העופה